Megtooth sabers requires a lot of work on engineering, drilling, smoothing, tapping, setting, imagining, cutting, stripping, twisting, dipping, tin it, pin it, wire it, fire it, lock it, blast it, swing it, bash it. Megtooth sabers.
Well, hello, Saber fans. Happy New Year. Happy New Year from Megtooth Sith. I haven't seen you guys since last year. It's been a while. Just kidding. It's only been a couple of weeks. Good to see everybody here. We got, Munu Cabrera, Kim Kanama, we got Robert Myers, and Stinzy. So welcome everybody. Welcome to Megtooth Sith Sabers Tuesday live. And hang on a minute, because I got a delay going on here. I got to get rid of that. I'm sure that's causing an echo. Y'all bear with me. And we'll get rid of that. That's going to definitely be causing some racket. So we got rid of that. So hopefully the audio is okay. I'm still on my crappy computer mic. We'll make some improvements as we go. Happy New Year, everybody. For those of y'all that didn't hear that we're on my last live stream, which was a boring one because it was weathering, KRORssguards, Ella, everything went well. So thank you all for your prayers. That couldn't have gone better. That was the best Christmas present we got, was, a clean bill of health for Ella. And Ella's recovering. In fact, she's at the school basketball game tonight, so she's doing her normal teenage stuff. So that's kind of awesome. But, got a lot of stuff that I want to show you guys tonight. Number one is, and I'm going to have to get, so the KRORssguards are installed. They're ready to go, minus the Profi board. But the rough end on the wiring is all there. I know this wiring always looks crazy. It always does. But my wires are already in. The coils are actually all wired up, and the weathering's done. I'll try to get I wanted to show y'all the bottom half on this one, but I got both of them ready to go. There's the bottom half. It's all weathered up and ready to rock and roll. These things are going to be awesome. The heat bluing on the quillions, the weathering that we did on Megtooth Tuesday last time we were live. These hilts are going to be awesome. Both of them are getting Profi with a user replaceable 18650 battery and the simple chassis. It does have an on-off switch. And, these are going to have Proplicator quillions and everything. One of these is going to be for sale. One of them's going to be a Trooping Saber. Oh, that's awesome. Working on R2-D2 build. That's cool, Robert. But at any rate, the quillions. I wanted to show you guys something about the quillions. So I know some of y'all watch Space Windu. I know, ooh, that's not good. So I didn't get the blade retention out far enough. I'm going to screw up my coin job because I haven't really assembled them yet. I haven't glued them together. I mean, they're both built, but so these are the Proplicator quillions. Now, I have installed them, and I have installed them with the Omega. These are the Omega neopixels. So I'm going to try to show that on there. And those are 332 per meter pixels. I'm going to show you a whole strip here in a minute, illuminated. But right now, I wanted to show you this. So I'm going to put it in the, hey, Ken Hall, awesome to see you. I'm going to put this in the, I'm going to have to put it in my Star Killer because that's, ooh, shit, I need a, where is my blade adapter? Because I needed my little piece of 1-inch blade. No crapola. Thought I had all that ready to rock and roll. I hope I don't have to cut a piece of 1-inch blade tonight. I'm gonna have to real quick cut a piece of 1-inch blade. Thought I had that laid out. I don't. Oh no, here it is right here. Saved by the bill. I found it. Oh look, a squirrel. Welcome to Megtooth Tuesday, right? And what we're going to do is I'm going to put a piece of 1-inch blade in there because these quillions are 7/8. And I'm going to drop the quillion down in there. I think I turned the saber on. I did.
Kylo Ren.
And then I'm going to get this thing in contact. There we go. So here's the quillion, and I've got it in my, Star Killer saber that we built a couple weeks ago, which that thing's awesome. That Phoenix prop Star Killer, the weathering and everything's cool on that. It would be just as cool on the cross guards. But I have to do this because I don't have profi boards in the cross guards. And, I wanted to show you guys these. Look at those quillions. That's pretty awesome. Got illumination almost always to the tip. The LGT, sabers are only illuminated like halfway down the quillion. It looks like crap. Those 332 per meters, that's dense. And then you look at the effects. It says lightning black. You can just see it's just really bright. It's just going to be awesome. Those things are going to be really, really awesome. I'm really proud of how they turned out. 7/8 for the new Kylo. So those are awesome. Let's show you guys those pixels. So I'm going to bring you over to the workbench because we got to take you on a tour of some of that stuff because that was what I promised tonight. So I'm going to take you over here to the workbench. Let me put you all on screen share for a minute. And we're going to be on screen share mostly later because I think we're going to work on a config file. So I'm going to put you guys on screen share, and I don't really have nothing for you guys to look at. You guys can look at my mode screen, which is not good there, but what are you going to do? And let me make sure that you guys are going to see what you're about to see, so it doesn't matter. All right, we're going to put y'all back on scene. I just didn't want y'all up there while I was moving the cameras and everything. So I moved the cameras. Now we're down on my workbench, and it's kind of dirty because I've been busy. Definitely been busy building a lot of sabers. But I wanted to show you some of this magnetic stuff I got going on. So let me turn on some lights here, and let's get some light on the subject. And let me adjust this camera so it's seeing the whole kit and caboodle. And I'm trying to get the camera adjusted about where I want it at. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So this is the beginnings of my magnetic workbench. I want a bigger one. This isn't big enough, but it's pretty cool. These things, and I got these from Smuggler's Outpost watching their live streams. These are called neopixels. And these things, they're magnetic and they go down like that, but you can also mount them like that. And they're helping hands. And these things are so cool, and I'm bleeding. The helping hands, how they work is like this, and then they can grip whatever you need them to grip, but they're infinitely adjustable. So like wherever you need them at. So they are very, very cool. Hey, Space Window, I got something to, did you see that 332 pixel thing I did? I'm getting ready to show these in a minute. There you go, Adafruit 332 pixels per meters. We're going to show you these in a minute. Right now I'm trying to show these, I appreciate it, Space. Thanks for showing up. But the funny thing is the whole idea as I got these. Oh, you got the OmniFixos too, Cole? Yeah, you can stack them. You can stack them like that. You can stack them inverse, upside down like this, and then like that. So I mean, there's infinitely things you can do with them that are pretty pretty cool. So the magnetics really have changed the game. It's kept everything more stable. And I initially saw this with Bobby Susanbach, one of our normal subscribers. I haven't seen Bobby on tonight, but Bobby was the first one I saw, and he was using like these magnets like this to hold things in place, but these kind of get in the way. But these OmniFixos, man, they're awesome. Now, in addition to that, I've also got, magnetic normal helping hands, with the protections on it. And I have a magnetic light, which, you know, this gives me LED light, which is awesome because I can put light right where I want it. And that's magnetic too on my bench. And, you know, I have my camera mount, which, you know, you're actually viewing all this from right now. You're viewing from my camera mount. And that camera mount really helps me get in better. It's pretty cool. And there we go. So, you know, I can actually film stuff really well with this camera mount. It's really awesome. And I'm really happy with it. So this is my magnetic workbench. I am super ecstatic about it. Put my logo right side up there because you guys were right side up a minute ago. And now let's bring in these Adafruit 332 pixels per meter neopixels. Now these neopixels, I found out about these from Space Windu. They have been out for quite a while. Space Windu is actually building full neopixel blades out of these, and he's calling those blades Omega blades. And I believe he just made a quad, you know, with these things in them. But man, they are dense. I'm going to hook this onto my test rig right now, just so you guys can see it. Now, this is only half a meter, but there are so many neopixels in this half a meter that it's like a normal neopixel blade. You guys aren't even going to be able to see the end of it because, you know, the bottom end is down here, the origin, and the top end is up here off screen. And I don't think there's nothing I could do to make y'all see the whole thing, but it's good that you can anyway because it's going to, you know, the whole thing doesn't illuminate. So here we go, hitting the boot. And there they go, 332 pixels per meter, and it's already diffused in this silicone thing. These things are awesome. Just as much as 2020s, I think these things are changing the game. Trying to get a blast to work here without a flash. There you go. Did you see it? There. There. Oh. And then lock up. Man, these things are awesome. So these are the neopixels that I made the Kylo Koyans out of. And I have all 4 Koyans made out of these 332 neopixels per meter pixels from Adafruit. These pixels are absolutely incredible. They are awesome. This is a game changer. These in the 2020s, I think, are game changers for accents too. You know, I know Space Windu's building blades out of these things. Now I'm a little bit concerned about the blades because these neopixels actually draw quite a bit more than the SK6812s and the WS 150 the 155s we've been working. Now I can't remember the other number right now, but you know, it is what it is. But at any rate, I definitely wanted to show you guys all that. So we've shown you guys the Kylo sabers. We've shown you guys the Quillions in action. You know, I don't know if I've shown this or not on the live videos, but I did subblades on my accents on the Star Killer. This is the Star Killer chassis, and you know I've got subblades on the ends, and then the middle runs other stuff. So, and it's different for each preset.
Are you a Jedi? I am.
I suggest you try it again, Luke. Kylo Ren.
These are the rainbow blades here. You can tell because they're doing all colors of the rainbow here. But at any rate.
I suggest you try it again, Luke. This time, let go.
It's just bad these days. It's just bad these days.
Vader's assassin.
And then that's the first preset on there. So that's pretty cool. You know, pick that up from Solar Sabers. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, y'all saw that running the Quilliams. But at any rate, I want to get over to the workbench now and get on the computer because I wanted to make the config file for the sabers. So I'm going to go to screen share no peek, and then we're going to, you know, here's my KRORssguards folder. Now I'm going to create a new folder in here, and we're going to call this SD contents. And we're probably not going to mess around with this SD contents folder tonight. I just want to make the new config. So, man, I hate Windows 11. I'm still getting used to it. Rename. This is going to be SD contents eventually. And then now what I want to do is I'm going to go grab an OS 6.7 config file that I know is pretty good. And I think this Star Killer Experiment's pretty good. I'll use this one. So I'm going to right click and copy this one. And I'm going to paste it into our KRORssguard folder here. Paste. But I'm going to rename this. I'm going to rename it. Get my fingers on the right keys. KRORssguard 2022 underscore. Oh, come on now. I had it. I touched the pad. I'm going to call this cross, not Cito cross. We're going to call it KRORssguard 2022 underscore config.h. So that's going to be our KRORssguard config file. This is going to be the opening of it. So basically, you know, at the top of the config, at the config top, and you know, we're going to lose people here for sure. But at the config top, why did it just do that? My mouse is doing all kinds of crazy things that I don't want it to do. This is our config top. And I didn't want it that small because you guys wouldn't be able to see it. This is our config top, and you know, you can see that we have all these defines in there. The volume's 2200, it's got 5 blades, so we're going to back that off to 3 because we're only going to have the main blade and the 2 quillions. It does have 2 buttons. Clash threshold, we'll leave it 4, might dial it down from there. Disable color change because I don't like that. Audio motion, edit mode menu, you know, all edit options, dual mode sound, clash strength sound, max clash, save battery volts, FET 263, twist off, twist on no BM. In other words, when you twist on the saber, you don't get battle mode when you activate by twist on, which is cool. And then it has thrust on and swing on. So if you do thrust on or swing on, you're in battle mode, but if you do twist on, you're not. Swing out speed is 350. We'll leave that there. Hold button off. This makes it act more like a plector board or the old NECs where you hold your aux for lockup, and hold button lockup, which is again making it X. So this is like more mimicking the old SA22C prop file, which is why I use those defines on Fernando's. Basically, Fernando just made his prop file act like Matt McGurry's just by adding those 2 defines. This hold button off and hold button lockup. So basically you have to hold the power button till the saber powers off, and then you have to hold the aux button to get lockup. That's what those 2 defines are. And then the rest of this is all, you know, this is all OS 6.7 defines. This isn't necessarily class in OS 6, but I'm just letting y'all know which defines I'm going to have. And then, you know, disable diagnostic commands and disable basic parser styles. We have to have that for, you know, the thing. So trying to get caught up with you guys. Updates on the Profi board B3s. Cole, I have not. I know a couple of weeks ago they said you still couldn't get those chips. So, you know, you still can't have the Profi board 3.7s, which really sucks because that thing is awesome. So yeah, these 2 KRORssguards, I'm installing these with Profi board 2.2. That's why tonight I thought we'd be doing that, but we're not. So my first font I'm gonna call Cross because that's my KRORssguard, and then it's gonna be Kylo Wave, Common Tracks Kylo Wave, and you know, then we need some blade styles. I'm just gonna do the first preset maybe tonight. So I'm gonna get rid of all the other blades, and then now we're in KRORssguard. So now we need a blade for KRORssguards. So I have to I'm going to go into Google Chrome. I think you guys are still on screen share. I'm going to check and make sure. I am not testing tonight, Mountain Savers, but I will be downloading fonts from you and Jay DeLorean, along with KSith and Kyberphonics, to go on the two CRORssguards that I'm installing. So, but I'm not doing any testing tonight. I did show the 332 per meter neopixels. But anyway, I'm just working on a config file, a simple config file right now for the CRORssguards. So I want to go to, I'm going to Google FET263. This is going to be part of my install video anyway. Eventually, I'll pull this off. So we need OS style library, and we need a main blade for Kylo. And you know, come down here and I look for him to be using a CRORssguard, and I know we're dealing with Kylo usually, but of course maybe not. All right, I might have blown through his unstable blades. Fernando, you got to use the Kylo saber when you're doing the Kylo Ren blades. Kylo Ren unstable. See, you used his MPP. Don't use your MPP, Fernando, when you're demonstrating Kylo blade styles. That's like not good. Kylo Ren unstable film based is going to be, you know, the option that I want, and I want the main blade. And, you know, I'm going to go look at all our options. Reds, unstable, blah, blah, blah. I don't want any preons, just a standard ignition. I tell you what, I might do a spark tip ignition. Dang it, I meant to have a spark tip ignition. And then we'll have standard ignition as an option. And center out. That way people can do stuff. Default ignition time of 300. Let's make that 500. Typically find 500 works better. I don't want any of that crap. No cooldown crap. No post-off crap. Clash, I want that to be the sequels. So it's going to be light cyan. Everything's going to be light cyan on effects. Lock up, full blade, real clash. Light cyan. This is going to be light cyan for the lightning. Drag effect, light cyan. So everything's going to be that color. Blast, we want to be light cyan. And stab and summon, normal stab, light cyan. And no force boost, no base flare. I don't want any battery level or any of that crap. So that's basically the blade style. So I'm going to get style code. It says I agree. I am a Patreon of Fernando's, so I do pay Fernando for use of this library. And if y'all are using his library, you should pay it forward to him too, because he's got a lot of work, a lot of money invested in this. But at any rate, there's my first blade style. So I'm going to catch up on chat here before I glue this in. Yeah, those Koyans are pretty awesome. When I publish the video, you can go back and watch them, Mountain Savers. They are awesome. 332 pixels per meter is pretty impressive. It definitely made those Koyans way better. All right, so now we're back in our config file that we're making, and here's our first preset CRORssguard, and then there's the blade style that we just made in Fernando's library. And now I'm going to space, and now we need to go get our Koyans. And so I'm going to go back. I'm going to close out of this. And now I'm going to want our secondary Koyan blades. And let's see here. Style option. I know I want delayed ignition. I don't know where that's going to be. Number of blades. If you have CRORssguard Koyans separate, select 2 to get 2 duplicate styles in one. Yep, I do. I do have separate. I do have them wired separate. Ignition delay. I do want ignition delay, and then I think I want standard delay, 500 milliseconds. I'll adjust that. And I don't want any of the effects on my quillions. I don't want any of those effects on my quillions. I just want very simple Fireblade quillions, which is what I'm hoping I'm going to get. So get style code, and I should have 2 blades on the clipboard, and they should be the same. We'll check here in a minute. Paste. So here's 1 blade, and obviously it looks like we've got 2 blades. So here's the main blade. Let's scroll down and see if I got 2. Blam, blam. Yeah, he did give me 2. So here's the first blade. Here's the first cross guard, and then here's the second quillion. Now they're both the same. Now in my presets, they're not always going to be the same, and I'm going to call this cross guard. And I might go back and change this to the original Fireblade that was present on Teensy Saber for Case's crossguard. And then my next font's going to be unstable. And then after those 2, I'm going to be using Mountain Saber fonts and Jadalorian fonts. But this is just some of how you make the config file. And I know most of my viewers know how to make a config file, but some may not. And, I want this up there for some of the viewers that haven't seen that so that they can see that. And that's pretty cool way to get y'all into making your own config file. It is very simple. It is cut and paste and come back to you guys, and here we are. And these quillions are super awesome. Mountain Sabers, if you're still on, the 332 per meter pixels, I haven't glued all this together yet. They're really cool. They're different. They're unique. And then I can show you guys on this test rig. Let me get the test rig and get these out of the bag. And again, I found out about these from Space Window, but you can order them off Adafruit. It's not like they're secret or nothing. And Space Window's been using these to make blades. Now, this is just half a meter. So this is 155 neopixels. And I'm trying to get the whole thing on screen now. It's all not going to light up because this is only programmed for like 135 pixels. So that's 135 pixels to there. Isn't that crazy? The density is insane. That is 135 pixels. Isn't that crazy? And that small distance. That is crazy dense. But these are the Adafruit 332 per meter pixels. Now, they weren't that easy to work with. There's no arrows on these things. There's no arrows on these things. It makes it a huge pain in the ass. But these things are awesome. These 332 pixels per meter are awesome for these crossguard quillions. These quillions are the best quillions I've ever made, and they were the easiest quillions I ever made because of these neopixels. I think these are the appropriate neopixels to go inside of these quillions. Now, as I said, Space Window is making blades out of these. I would be worried because, like, if you go on Adafruit's site and you look at their amperage on these, I would be worried about overdriving the MOSFETs on the Profi boards or the Crystal Focus 10, whatever you guys are using. It's all the same. They're all using MOSFETs to drive these blades. You know, on Profi board, we're using 2 MOSFETs to drive a normal, dual neopixel blade. If you're going to be running these in a main blade, maybe 3 MOSFETs, maybe 4. I don't know. But yeah, this is this is even major amperage, which you know, you get the trade-off is the density of effects. Now they're not as bright as SK6812s or WS 2812s. They're not quite as bright, but the effects are crazy dense, crazy dense. I was looking for my water because I'm kind of thirsty. And I had a big jug of water in here, and I don't know what I did with it because I'm like attention deficit disorder theater up in here right now. But I don't know where I put my water. But you know, no, I'm just on this saber. It's just going to use the normal 18650. So there's the slot for the 18650, but it's user replaceable. And I'm only running the 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 real dense pixels and the cross guards. And the standard blade, I'm just going to run normal pixels. I'm not going to run, you know, I don't know if Space is running a 21700 in his test saber or not, but definitely learned about these neopixels from Space Windu. And this is the first time I ever worked with them. And y'all know I've shown you the 2020s before on my live videos. And y'all know I'm a huge fan of the 2020 neopixels. These 332 per meter pixels are insane. And I guess they're 2020s, but they've got this silicone cover over them and they're pre-diffused and you can't tell where one pixel begins and the other pixel ends. So you don't really need to use, a whole bunch of diffusion inside of these Proplicator coins anymore. And the Proplicator's printing these out like a rubber-like thing now. They're a lot more flexible, a lot more pliable. These things are going to be a lot tougher. So Proplicator's coins, while we're here, get Proplicator a call out for his new coins. These things are 10.8. They're squared away. Really, really good stuff. So I am creating the video for building these crossguard sabers, and these are KROR crossguards, and these things are awesome. They do have the simple Goth chassis in them with a user replaceable 18650. Both these are going to have Profi. They do have a kill switch, and this one has a 20 millimeter bass speaker by Smuggler's Outpost, and it's going to be a really awesome saber. I'm very excited, to get these projects done to show y'all, and you guys can kind of see a preview of what about it's going to look like. I can't seal it on all those wires because we need to get that Profi board installed, but there's the saber we did a lot of the weathering on last week. So these things are awesome. Cut line count on those pixels. I don't know. I think it's like 15. I can check for you here real quick, Mountain Sabers. So I gotta just look on the back and I'll be able to tell you. Let me get it under a light where I can see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 between each of those. I'm trying to get it in there where you guys can see it. So it's 7 pixels in between each of those pads, which is crazy. These things are nuts. They're expensive. They're proud of them. So they want like 30 bucks for half a meter. And it took a whole half meter of these to wire the 2 coins. So, the pixels for both these coins, was almost 100 bucks. And then the coins themselves aren't exactly cheap from the Proplicator either. So, the one saber that I'm going to sell here, you got top dollar neopixels in it. It's a top dollar saber. It's a KROR crossguard. And I'm using a Profi board, Proplicator coins. I mean, these things are going to be the cat's meow. Probably be the finest crossguards that I've ever put out. I did put a simple chassis in them, but that's because I really think these sabers are more designed for trooping more than anything else. But yeah, they're pretty awesome. These things are pretty awesome. And, I've got more of my office coming together now. And, I did some different stuff over the Christmas holidays. Kind of wanted to show you. I got, pixels going around the room. I got my lightsabers up on shelves. So things are looking a lot better. And then all this stuff is, Jen's business over here. And then those are the patch boards I did for her business, which those are like police patches. And her stuff is still in the works of getting all that completely organized, but you know, everything's looking cool. Got my LEDs mounted on the ceiling. I don't know if you guys can see that or not because the lights are bright, but you know, got my LEDs mounted on the ceiling. So those are pretty awesome. And you know, I'm really enjoying, you know, some of the decorations I got going on because I'm finally getting, you know, moved into the house. We were so busy, you know, when we first bought the house that I really didn't have time to get all that done, and now I've got time to get all that done. So we're having some fun with the decorations. You know, I got my Star Wars posters up in here. Still got a bunch of posters to put up. I'd still like to put up a couple more shelves and finish building out Jennifer's side of the room for her business. But you know, I'm building these sabers. I'm not going to take any commissions until I get these out the door. And I might even do the dark saber too until I take on any more commissions. Because y'all, I had a bunch of money tied up in the top of my closet of stuff that needed to be built and sold, and I need to get rid of it. The dark sabers really set me back, and you know, I'd like to get those things moved out the door. But these cross guards were really a personal thing for me. I wanted to get them done, and you know, I also got, you know, this done, which this Star Killer is just incredible. Um, I built a bunch of these when Phoenix Props first came out with them, and I loved them. I was like, man, I love these things, and I sold them all. And then after I let them all go out the door, I really regretted selling them all, and I really wanted one for my collection. So you know, I did. I got this one. It was like one of the last ones he had before he closed up shop, and I was glad I got it. And I finally got to build this thing out here a couple of weeks ago, right before Christmas. So I really like that saber. That's really cool. And now we're making the cross guards happen. And the cross guards, I'm going to get some new faces in there. We got to have Mountain Sabers and J DeLorean sound fonts on the cross guards. And you know, Mountain Sabers and J DeLorean are making great fonts. If you guys haven't heard their fonts, they're awesome. You can get their fonts on their own websites. They don't sell on saberfont.com. They have their own websites, just like KSith and just like Kyberphonics. And you know, I'm kind of partial to the folks like Mountain Sabers, J DeLorean, Kyberphonics, and KSith because I think they've been pretty loyal to you know, the smooth swing creation from their early days inception. So you know, those are the font makers that I tend to support quite a bit. But yeah, my Troop and Saber is from Cole Withers. That's going to be awesome, Cole. This is actually my saber, Cole. So this is the one that you got me, I guess. And this is going to be my Troop and Saber. And kids with cancer that want to see Kylo will get to see this saber, which is going to be really awesome. And I am in the process of losing weight, so I fit back in my Kylo costume. I don't know if I've told you guys a whole lot about all that, but when I was in detectives and getting called out for murders in the middle of the night, and you know, it was a really stressful position at work. It was stressful at home, and I gained a lot of weight. I weighed 310 pounds in September this year, y'all. And right now I'm sitting at 266, 265. So I've lost a lot of weight and changed my diet. No sodas, just drinking water. No beer, which really sucks ass, but you know, I'll get used to it. Um, and pretty much no carbohydrates, no sugars, including fruits, none of that. And I'm dropping weight about 10 pounds a week or so. I'm adding muscle too. This last week, I didn't lose as much weight, but I lost a lot of girth. So I know I'm losing weight because my clothes are falling off me. This sweatshirt, you know, used to be tight on my belly, and now it's all loose and baggy. So, you know, things are going good. Bobby, I was just talking about you. You missed my magnetic board. Bobby Susanbach was the inspiration behind my magnetic tool board that I'm using. I saw his first. But at any rate, yeah. So the reason I'm dropping weight is I got to get back down in my Kylo. You know, I hand sewed my Kylo costume. I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it from a costumer. I actually bought the material. In fact, you know, everywhere you look in my house, there's swaths of Kylo Ren material laying around, including this. And it's because I sewed my own Kylo costume, and I have scraps of Kylo Ren material everywhere you look. And I was really proud of my Kylo costume, but I got so big last year that I couldn't even fit in it at all, and that was really depressing to me because I spent so much time and effort and money building that Kylo costume, and now to have this cross guard to go with my outstanding Kylo costume, um, instead of my old Black Series conversion, which I really love that Black Series conversion with the 26 650 and Teensy Saber, but um, it's not as cool as this KROR crossguard. These KROR crossguards, I think, are the best ones that I've ever seen. They're pretty bad. I like them. I really wish Cal would, make these hilts all the time. And I know Cal's not going to do that, but my God, these things are the bomb.com. I'd like to see the new Corbants, and I know the Darkness is a good crossguard too, but I really like these KRs. I've built a lot of crossguards, and really like these KRs. But you know, I'm pretty excited about this year going forward. So we're gonna start winding down here because I got more stuff to do. I'm expecting an order of proffies in from KR Sabers, and when I get those, I'm going to go ahead and install the proffies in these KRO crossguards, which is why we started doing the config tonight. And once I get that config done, I'll have the build and install video, including the weathering live video we did last week. All that's heat bluing on the Quillions, all that is included in how I built out these crossguards and installed them. So it's going to be from taking them out of the box to drilling holes to heat bluing the emitters to putting the emitters back on to the weathering to the painting to the roughing down, sanding down the switch box, installing the switches, weathering the engines on front and back, all that stuff will be on the video. So probably before next Tuesday, we'll be publishing that video. I hope it depends on when I get these proppy boards from KR Sabers, but if not, maybe we'll be installing a proppy board into a crossguard next week. But I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah, I think Space is on vacation, and I missed Mundo's last night because I was working late. But I want to thank you everybody for tuning in, and stay tuned this year. I'm hoping to have some guests on. I'm getting some different software so we can bring on guests. So it's not just me. I'd like to bring Cole Weathers on and Mountain Sabers and Mundo Cabrera and Bobby Suzenbach and, have, more of us on display than just me because I get boring. My ADHD gets boring after a while. And there's a lot of people out in this community that have a lot of exciting ideas and exciting views on the saber hobby. And I want you to meet more of them because this hobby is just full of really, really cool people. But at any rate, that's sweet. And Mundo, I have not forgotten about your prism boards. I'm going to give you some of my prism boards. I'm just having to figure out which ones are flashed to 5.1, so I'm having to kind of test them. But once I get those, I will send you at least 2 of those prism 5.1s, and I'll get them to you in the mail. I haven't forgotten about you. Eller surgery and all that stuff before Christmas really got me behind the power curve. But I wanted to let y'all know. Let me get here in the chat. I need to get into the chat. I thought I had the chat open, but I might have closed it. We want to get in here and we want to hashtag some nerd up. And before I go completely away, I wanted to show you guys one thing. Let's go to screen cap, no peek. And I want to show you guys on YouTube. Like if you go to my YouTube channel, I just wanted to show you something unique that I added. So I don't know if many of y'all know this, but my first YouTube channel was not Meg2Sis Sabers. My first YouTube channel was Frying Pan Shoals Noah Diver. But if you go to my YouTube channel and you scroll down to Sith installs, and you'll see this 2017 Kylo Ren Saber modification. This was my first conversion of a BS Saber, and that was 5 years ago. If you look at the YouTube channel it's from, is FPSN Diver, which is my initial YouTube channel. And then I also have my 2017 Graflex 2.0 build and demo with NB4, Nanobiscotti 4, its baselit, and that was FPSN Diver. That was on my other channel. So I do have another YouTube channel called FPS Diver, and a lot of my early lightsaber videos were actually on FPS Diver. So like if you go to this, and I'll show you what my FPS Diver channel looks like. This is my FPS Diver channel with a lot of my dive videos like finding Meg teeth and that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of Star Wars stuff which really didn't fit in there. And so that's why the Meg 2 Sith channel got created. But if you just go to my Meg 2 Sith channel, you'll see those videos that I added into my playlists from my other channel, from FPS Diver. And those are some of the original videos of me building sabers, which is pretty cool because a lot of people don't realize that I've been doing it for that long. But I've been building sabers for, quite a while now. It's been more. I didn't just show up on the scene. So at any rate, I meant to get you guys back there. Yeah, I'm not necessarily new to the scene. So get them blades out and light them up. I wish we could see more people, but
I'll show you the dark side.
we've been talking about Kylo a lot tonight. So there's my Dark Force Custom Sabers Transcendent, which is awesome, man. So thank you guys for tuning in this week, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Maybe we'll be in some Property Boards. Maybe I'll release the whole video. Who knows what's going to happen? Depends on shipping from UK. But thank you guys for joining in. Hashtag Nerd Up. May the Force be with you. Put that in there. Oh man, I just stabbed myself in the neck. I'm not going to be able to get that in the chat. This is going to take too long to sign into that. But thank you guys for tuning in. May the Force be with you, or the dark side as it were. Thank you everybody for watching as usual. I really appreciate y'all tuning in on my channel. And as always,